Um, Let me call it my secondary school. That was in senior two. I had the passion of acting. Like at school, I need to take all that of music, dance, and drama. So since then, I've been on the track. Yeah.
So when was your first breakthrough? I mean, when you decided apart from the school thing, how did you get into acting? You start from Uganda because you didn't understand also acting.
Let me say my acting started on stage with Bakaimbra drama actors. So my first play was Kalibatanda. So from there, you know, cut. Sorry. Let me say, I didn't start with movies. I started on stage with my acting group, as in where I'm coming from. Basically, those people made who I am. That is Bakaimbra drama actors. So that's where I started my acting schedules. Let me say, my acting line. So from there, I had to see really the passion that I have with it work, you understand? And from there, my bosses were like, no, this person, she's really cool, she can make it. So let me say apart from stage, again with Bakaimbira, I started with Chigenya Genya. That was my first movie. When you collab, or when you go to what we call acting as a movie thing, that is Chigenya Genya. I acted as Mama Namugambe, Jala Sergeant in Pim. From there, I had to go on.
So how did you find that?
In Uganda, I really love what we're doing. We are really trying. We are on board. Just give us only 1 year. Let's say 1 year or next year. We're gonna make it to Hollywood or Nollywood, whatever we call it. But for me, according to where we started from, now Ugandans, let me say the Ugawood, let me say like in the whole Africa, we're taking maybe the second position or the third position in Africa. We're really doing well. Yeah. Sorry? What is really lacking, and I think the government is trying to work on it, what we need basically is the support, the government support. We need equipments whereby we try, but again, we need a hand from the government. They should keep on supporting the government. Let's talk about other side of movie side, let's say like Nollywood. The government are really putting all their eyes on acting stuff. And as I'm talking to you right now, before the government used to eat on oil. But right now, the government is getting money out of movies. So they need to look at this. They need to give us, as in, the whole support so that we can make it. What we need is to have good equipment for the actors. For that one, we are there. We have a lot of good actors in Ugandan, but what we need is to have all the good equipment. Where are they going to come from? They're going to come from the government themselves. They need to keep on supporting the industry. That's what we're lacking. Acting, whatever, we're good to go. But we need support from the government. That is it.
What does it take to have a well-known story? Is it just writing person? What does it
Let's say yes, the story is very important, but again, you can have a good story, but the cast, if the casting is wrong, you cannot have a good movie. One, the story has to be good. Yes, but we need to have the casting is very, very important. We need to have somebody that, for example, you're supposed to be acting as a mom. I'm here, I'm given a part of acting as a mom. Or emotional mom and all that. Definitely. Okay, well, let's not say that it has to be a good story. Yes, you can have a good story. At the end of that day, when your cast is not well organized, you cannot have something good. You cannot have a good movie. A good movie needs a good story. Then the actors, the cast is also very important. Somebody who can bring out your story. You get. Let me just say, let's have a story and the cast, the actor, the person who is going to bring out your story. That is it.
Now, let's talk about your journey to Nigeria.
My journey to Nigeria, it was a dream that I had from day one. We used to watch those Nigerian movies, and that was that part of Msajaba Mute Kamuchupa. I remember the late Sache sang about, had a track about it. So we used to see all how they used like to act their, how do we call it? As these people, like now, I don't know. Sorry. Again, as when we talk about movies, let me just go back a little bit. That altogether, all my line was into acting, movies and all that. From there, however, I was here in Bakaibira, blah, blah, I need to become a movie star. So I had to fight, I had to be, as in to bring myself, to bring a good thing about me as an actor, to bring out that career in me. Luckily enough, we had a movie here, it's called Roses in the Rain. I had one part in that movie. We did auditions, and I was not the first people on the line, but luckily enough, I just had a role. I was supposed just to check on a drip. We had a patient, somebody was so ill and all that. I was like a canance. I would definitely come around, I check on the patient, and I had to look at the drip, is it moving cool and all that, you know. So, and that movie went viral. We had the premiere here, they had to take it back to Nigeria. If you remember, those people were invited here, Clario Chikura, Zach Oji, and others. So in that casting, that's why I got a chance of, being part of Nollywood. So when they were like watching the movie in Nollywood, I'm like, who is this girl? And remember, in that movie, I didn't have even more than 2 lines. It was my face expression, what I did. They're like, wow, she can do it. From nowhere, I was there, and I had a phone call. I was like, Shadra Karinze from Nigeria, blah, blah. I said, what are you saying? What are you talking about? He said, yes, how this is so production. I really love your acting, like my acting. Are you for real? Then from there, I was invited to Nollywood.
What was your first impression when you got there?
We used to have these faces like Genevieve, Stella Damascus, Jim I, Kemeka Ike, and those are the people that I used to admire, mainly Stella Damascus. So my mind was like, no, I could not even think of what am I going to do, how am I gonna, interact with these people. My mind was like, as soon as I get to Nollywood, I just want to go and see these ladies, Stella Damascus and Genevieve. For me, as soon as I get there, my thing was like, what I know I'm going to be part of you people, blah, blah, can you please, I just want to have this so person, I just want to have a look and have a what, as in to have the interaction together. They were like, and I was lucky enough, where I was supposed to be shooting from, they were not far from that location. So I met them, I was so excited because it was my dream. It was my dream to be part of them. So I was like, how did you guys make it? They had to tell me how, if you really have a passion, how you can go with it and all that. So for me, it was not even about being in front of the camera or let me my first movie and all that. I just wanted to see those people that really acted, the people that really brought out stories that I want. Those are people who are given stories, and when they're doing it, they can really bring out, you understand, who they are and bring out the story you get. So I was like, for me, I was very excited to see the people that, my role models, the people that I was admiring with all my heart, you get. So from that to speak to them, have exchanging words and all that, stories, conversation and all that, for me to know how can I make it. So from there, and again, I had other faces with, again, Ramsey Noah, Julie Abraham, Emeka Ike, Jim Ike, and that was my first movie. And all the people basically that I used to admire were there. And my first scene, let me tell you something. I was panicking. I really panicked. I was panicking. I was like, can I make it? These are the big faces. Can I really work with such people? But when you have passion and love of something, you cannot fail. You get. So I did my mistakes. I'll not say that I was so clean. Never. I was doing my little mistakes. But before you know, after 10 minutes, I did it well. Let me say I was so super excited. That's what I can say. And I'm not ashamed that I panicked and I was so excited. That was my dream and had to come true, you know.
Did you sweat?
Definitely. Oh my God. How did you know? I did. If I remember, you know, continuity is very important on set. I remember my first thing, I had to carry a bag. Like somebody comes in, this is my friend from Uganda, Princess Faridah, blah blah. It's like, okay, like they're hugging, blah blah. They'll say now cut. Remember when you're greeting somebody as in welcoming, blah blah, you have to, sometimes you find yourself putting the bag aside. But as a continuity in a movie, the way you come in, you have to follow, you get. So by that time I was supposed to leave my bag as I'm going to where I'm supposed to, you know. Okay, so it's supposed to be good. So I'll leave my bag almost 4 times because all the cameras, all the stars around me, I was like, my God. I was like, you know, like I did the first mistake, the second one. At the end of that day, let me say my third take, I did it well. I'll not say that everything was smooth. Never. I did. And I was just sweating. I could not imagine myself with the stars I used to admire. And I'm now working on them. We're on the same track. That is superb. Believe me, I did.
Briefly tell us the movies in which you've acted from Nigeria.
There are plenty.
Tell us like about the roles you played.
My first movie was Yankee Boys. I remember Before the Rain, Dangerous Beauty, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Honor My Will. Then for now, I have my mother-in-law, my mother and my daughter-in-law in love. Mystery, Yezizi Misery, or whatever. I've done plenty, almost, let me say, I've done almost 20 movies in Nollywood and have the new productions as well. The one which is coming out on 27th December is African International Cinema Movie. It's all over. It's an international African movie. I was really, again, my excitement. But like now, at a time, you can just be there, spend a year or months, and you're not invited. Sometimes it kills a lot. You feel so bad. You think, oh, I don't have what it takes to go back to them. But last year, late last year, let's say the beginning of this year, I was invited. I was one of the international faces. I was invited here from Uganda. Then another one was from Rwanda. Another one came from Zambia. We had from South Africa. We had like 5 international African faces. And I had to have the Ugandan flag. You know, it's African International Cinema Movie. So that's my latest. Can I call it latest? I have another one again. It's from the street. Those are my new productions that are on board right now. I have like 4 or 5 productions. So that's how it is. But my movie that I feel like I want the world to see, the world to support it. I really feel like, you know, they supported my country. Is called The Fugitive. That is the Africa International Cinema Movie. So I had to wear the Gomesi. Our Gomez, you understand. They wanted to bring out the Ugandan people. I was like, wow, this is superb. So that one I cannot wait. I'm so excited myself to see myself there in Africa International Movie Cinema. Yeah.
Okay, as a lady actress, you must have faced some challenges.
Definitely.
Could you tell us some of them?
Most of times, as I'm a foreigner, Like, you can go out there. You really want to be given chances. You know, it's not easy to be casted in Nollywood. I've been in Nollywood, I've been in Ghana, I've been in South Africa. I've done like 4-3 movies. In fact, I've gone to Kenya, Tanzania, like Malawi, you know. But the challenges that we always face, basically, most especially ladies, you can have the admirers on set, definitely. Sometimes the producer himself, you know, if you're not smart enough, you can face it hard. But most of the time you feel like, okay, somebody's, you know, wants to be with you, want to do something, you know, how is it? But again, you don't want to do it. And definitely you're not supposed to be doing it, but you have to act in a professional way. You package yourself, you take care of yourself, and you respect the person as well. You don't want to tell him that, no, I cannot do this. But again, you need to play it cool. No, the number one challenge is we find people that really want to be around you. They can promise you, this is what if you do so be my friend, kind of, I can make you, you know. If you're not strong enough, if you're weak, you find yourself, okay, this is it. Let me say the producer, blah blah blah, the marketer, or maybe if I become close to him, being a friend and all that, you can make who I am. No, that's the big mistake that an actor can make. But what you have to do is to focus, because you still see all that still comes every day, every minute, every second. You get. So, I don't know, but that's it. As a woman, definitely you have to have those admirers on set. And most of the time they come out with promises. If you do this, I'll make you a star in Nollywood or in blah blah, you get. But what you have to do is just to play your game cool. But it's very hard if you say no. You can either lose or have what you want.
So how do you overcome such advances?
What I'm advising my fellow actors outside there is to have, is to focus on what you want. If you're good, you are good. If you are good, you are good. Don't really allow this kind of thing. Okay, I can make you star. I cannot. No. Even if you want to make me a star, I come to you as a friend, and I cannot give you what you want. You cannot make me who I am. You get. You just make sure that you interact and focus. You know what you want. You can get what you want. You can achieve your goals. That's what I can say. Just to focus and be careful. If you're bad, nobody can make you who you are. If you're good, you are good. You can make it by your own self. That's what I can say. This focus.